What's up, everybody? Especially to you, my brother Junior. How's it? This is Zaldi. Welcome back to Talking Story About Smoking. We are on session 14, Illusional Delusions. Last sesh was mean the meaning. You starting to realize that the meanings that you have is now game for interpretation, or at least reinterpretations. Your eyes are open and see that every action you take has a do while loop command and is in almost every minute of your life. While bored, do echo puff puff. While hungry, do eat food. While jonesing, do the Jones. Barbied and getting more barbied. This is like a broken scratch record. Junior, I know you know what it means because we had one record player growing up. For those of you young Hawaiians, you might have to Google what a record player is and look them up. DJs spin those records on the record players and they know exactly what it sounds like and what to do. You can use those records making all those beats with scratching and reverse spinning and all them records. We all have records we play all the time because we are creatures of habit. We all get in this trance. Try notice when you drove into work today. Everything was automatic. Your turns, you're weaving in traffic, finding the faster lane, moving to the far right lane at the Nimitz merge, then back on the middle lane when you pass Zippy's, and back to the far left when you pass Bishop Street. I know the deals. Yeah, it is all automatic cause we're in a trance. The Matrix. When we are on autopilot, guess where we at? That's right, the Matrix. Of course, until we take that red pill. Otherwise, we'll be blissful in our blue pill state, playing that same tape over and over again. You remember that Trojan horse that was introduced into the nuclear plant? That was one worm that was injected from a USB drive that infected the SCADA systems. The SCADA systems is what detects like temperature differences and safety levels. Well, the worm was called Stuxnet. The thing masqueraded and pretended all was good. Keep going about your business. All is fine. The Stuxnet kept it that way while screwing with the nuclear plant. The whole thing pretty much went bust up, the whole plant, while playing the tape of two of the guys looking at the screens, all G to G, until it wasn't. And they realized that their SCADA systems was false. They got stuxed by Stuxnet. Today, get a couple more do-while loops we're exploring that need some zopping. First one is concentration. Remember zopping, right? Zero product property. We gotta zop them. Well, the first one is concentration. Remember Dad saying he only smoked like 5 cigarettes a day. Because when he finished work late at Waikiki and had to drive home, it kept him up. I believed it, so I used that excuse. You know that's BS. He and I got stuxed. Like Stuxnet. Puff the naughty dragon gets hungry, and we have an excuse to feed Puff, no matter the cost. Smoking to concentration is like putting a small coat of stain on wood. The more you smoke, the more stain the wood. A better analogy is like surfing Poana Point up North Shore. When it rains, it gets murky because of the river runoff. The more rain, the more murky. But the surf is always trying to clean it out and push the runoff out to the ocean. That is what our lungs and brain doing. The thing gets foggy because you're shoving that crap into your body, but it's trying to clear it up as soon as you stop. I remember working with this other guy, Colonel Dan, he said he dips because it helps him focus. He doesn't drink coffee, drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, only dip. He is one liar. How I know? Because after I went quit, I don't need any of that when I driving or when I studying for my next cert. In fact, I surf pool on a point crystal clear every day in my head since I smoke. Getting clearer and clearer. I know you remember what it was like before you smoked. I know. And you know how clear everything was in your head. How unrestricted, sharp, and crisp everything was. Now, each time you dip, each time you smoke, you feel the chain in your brain. Your thinking is stale, and your zippiness of, of thinking is dull. Okay. Now, the next zop we got a zop is relaxation. You know, all this time you're thinking, oh, the thing give me some relaxation. That's your truth. No, 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 no. You know what I'm going to say next? That's another fat lie Puff the Naughty Dragon feeding you. Puff like Barbie in the Stuxnet. Remember the Town and Country surf design emblem? Town and Country, TNC, is actually the yin and the yang emblem. The head of the yin chasing the tail of the yang, and the head of the yang is chasing the tail of the yin. Imagine yin is anticipation and yang is release. That is what smoking is. It is the self-leaking ice cream. Except smoking creates the hole and gets you all worked up and makes you feel anxious. And it keeps building and building the anticipation. What is it going to fill it with? Yes, the cigarette. Keep spinning that TNC sign for 34 years on that emblem becomes huge. I believe I could only relax when I had a cigarette. But really, the more I smoked, the more anticipation I built. Like digging a hole in the sand. The more I dug, the more the walls would collapse and I had to dig deeper and wider. Or worse yet, just like blue balls. I won't expand further. You get the drift. You know how I know cigarettes is the relaxation killer? Try just think that you gotta take a non-stop 4-hour drive in a non-smoking car. There you go. You felt yourself get anxious right there. You're not ready for being a non-smoker yet. No worries. We're not done yet. Therefore, you still gotta keep smoking them. The final zop for today is the combo number 9. What is the combo number 9? The celebratory cigar for when a baby is born. It's a girl cigar or it's a boy cigar. The pairing play like cheese and strawberry or cantaloupe wrapped with prosciutto ham. And our all-time favorite, furikake rice and spam. My combos were smoking and coffee, a whiskey and cigar, baseball and dipping. Yes, Puff the Naughty Dragon anchored me. I was barbied and stuck deeper and wider than in the hole in that sand. Here's the little light from the candle in this dark room. I know that I was the one that fed Puff the same perpetual TNC cycle. This is the liberating knowledge. You know that you could have used another placebo and it would have worked fine, if not even better. You already have pairs that give you power or mana. That is why you pump up the jams. I'm a bee from Black Eyed Peas when you go lift weights. Or when you use the mirror to get you going and whatever. You know, I don't know what else you use it for. Finally, you take an ice bath to reset your body and mind. Those are the pairs. That is the real stuff. Nicotine is the imposter. A placebo could be used in replace of it. You have the power to create new and lasting anchors. You get the mana. Okay, so I don't know if you're stoked in listening to this as much as I am making these sessions. As we round this corner and close session 14, notice the anchors of nicotine you built with Puff the Naughty Dragon. Maybe you did already, maybe you didn't. If you haven't already and would like the chance to keep these sessions going and making the new ones sooner, after you publish into this session, bust out that tropical itch back scratcher and spank that button, buymeacoffee.com/surfer snow in the description below. Session 15, gonna be another mind trip. It is called Poor Broke Luck Prisoner. Sounds interesting, eh? Because it is. Chee-hoo! So with that, my brother Junior, ahui ho. Okay then.